Welcome to the Things Conference, a place where we meet, share knowledge and collaborate to build the best Internet of Things products for our customers and users. We are here to showcase, share, collaborate and to be amazed. Pick the right partners, assemble the right components and select the right technologies for your applications. LoRaWAN has gone through a roller coaster ride progressing at lightning speed. It only took 7 years for this wireless standard to become globally recognized, developing mature devices and solutions backed by an impressive ecosystem. It became so strong because there is no permission required to build, experiment, deploy and run a business with LoRaWAN. All tools and components can be acquired on the open market. No gatekeepers or toll gates by parties that constrain your imagination in building Internet of Things solutions. In IoT, the ones that truly understand the business problem build the right solutions and they decide which tools to use. LoRaWAN is here and now. You can touch it, you can build it, you can generate value with it today. The diversity of LoRaWAN applications is massive. Regardless if you are tracking thousands of cows in New Zealand, ensure food supplies with precision farming, monitor conveyor belts, keep the grass of your golf course green, optimize inspections of inventories, ensure food compliance by measuring the temperature of fridges and freezers, keep public parks fresh and clean, optimize the workspace, track your goods and assets, measure power consumption, detect forest fires early, monitor the health of patients. LoRaWAN is here to enable. With the immense addressable market ahead for IoT, there are only opportunities. And when one wins, we all win. The IoT market is not a zero-sum game. We started with this strong belief 7 years ago, and it remains true today. Our mantra? Let's build these things together is more relevant than ever. Now with a thriving developer and enterprise ecosystem. Enjoy this event through its experiences, knowledge and connections. Have a great conference.
Please raise the roof for the founders of the Things Industries, Wienke, Giezeman and Johan Stokking.
Welcome back. Welcome to the Things Conference 2022.
So it's really great to be here again. We have people from all over the world, from more than 60 countries. It's like we were here in 2020, January, and we're doing it all over again. It's great to be back. Thanks for everybody for being here.
So we have a whole diversity in geographies, but also in our partner ecosystem. So thanks to all the partners contributing to the conference in one way or the other. And you see here companies from all over the IoT industry, silicon vendors, supply chain partners, as well as cloud services. Great.
So you spent your time, your money, you're risking your career to be here. And so we asked ourselves, what do we want to bring in return? What's in it for you, right? And for us, we think this conference is successful for you if you're bringing all the connections, all the knowledge, and all the new, fresh ideas, and really focus on execution, because LoRaWAN is here and now. We can build it right now. Yeah? So what we want everybody to at least have a new idea next week, pitch it to your customer, pitch it to your systems integrator or your boss, and deploy and execute within 6 months.
So the Things Conference is all about LoRaWAN. So LoRaWAN is a wireless connectivity standard designed for constrained devices. So think of battery-powered sensors that are sending a few data points a few times per hour. We have a lot of documentation, YouTube videos, if you want to know more about the technicalities of LoRaWAN. And LoRaWAN is just a connectivity standard, and it allows you to use the very same technology, the very same gateways and network services for many, many, many different use cases. This conference is really a showcase of that. So we will be presenting really nice use cases in the keynote today, but also you see here right behind us on the device wall of fame many, many different LoRaWAN devices.
Great, so we started 7 years ago with the belief that building IoT solutions is incredibly hard. So what we wanted to do is support developers and engineers to make it very easy to at least go from 0 to 1. So build a solution, build a business model around it. And this is where we support with the Things Network. After that, we support our customers in scaling from 1 to 1 million. Once they found out it works once, we help them through our platforms scale to mass scale.
So we implemented that vision in our product, and we call that the Things Stack. The Things Stack allows you to very easily develop and deploy LoRaWAN solutions. The Things Stack Cloud is our main product. It's a cloud-managed, fully managed, SLA-backed service that allows you to build LoRaWAN solutions. It supports all LoRaWAN versions, all regions, and we operate it for you globally across the world. This console is just the tip of the iceberg. A typical LoRaWAN topology looks like this, and what we focus on is just the heart of the network, the LoRaWAN network server and the related components to make your solution work. Here on the left-hand side, you see the device maker ecosystem, and what is really nice and unique about LoRaWAN is that you can really mix and match your solution. You can pick existing certified LoRaWAN devices and LoRa gateways from many different vendors to build your LoRaWAN solution. So there are no silos and no lock-in. On the right-hand side, there are the integrations, and this allows you to get access to streaming data, but also integrations with existing IoT platforms. And that allows you to get data from MQTT or webhooks, but also enterprise IT system integrations. So the Things Stack Cloud is really our flagship product, but for customers who need to operate the Things Stack on their own servers or in their own cloud, their own Amazon or Azure account, that is also possible by deploying the Things Stack there. So let's hear it from our customers.
Yes, so enough about the technology. So how are our customers using this platform to build their specific applications? And we're going to start off with our customer, Sani.
Every day is important, and we must constantly help each other to improve, so we can better each other's lives. In the big picture, nothing is more important than this. But when we're always focusing on the big things, it's sometimes easy to forget the little things, even though we know that little things can have serious consequences. Sani Nudge is designed to help us remember one of these little but very important things. It is a system that provides us data about our hand hygiene in a busy workday where we're too overwhelmed to observe and keep track of every little detail. And Sani Nudge is easy to incorporate. The sensors fit all your existing dispensers with batteries that last for 2 years. It takes very little time to install, does not require any changes to workflow, and works automatically from day one. And while we go from point A and need to focus on what happens till we reach point B, the sensors discreetly track every time a dispenser has been used. The system works by creating an invisible zone around the patient area. And if a Sani ID stays in the zone long enough, it registers as patient contact. The system then anonymously monitors if the dispensers are used and where. This is how Sani Nudge can provide you with such detailed data that until now has been impossible to acquire. And with it, you get deep insight to the little habits and routines that affect the bigger picture, where poor hand hygiene has for too long resulted in hospital-acquired infections. And it's that picture that we can now change, if we work together to work smarter and improve our hygiene.
Great. So welcome, guys from Sani Nudge. It's an honor to be let's say, a little gear in your like amazing solution. So, in one sentence, what's the value proposition? What are you bringing to the world?
It's actually pretty straightforward because ultimately our system is saving lives.
Yeah.
It also protects healthcare workers from preventing disease spreading in a hospital. So, yeah.
Amazing, yeah. What a better value proposition than saving lives, right? So, so what does LoRaWAN play in your solution? There's a lot of things in your stack, but why specifically choosing LoRaWAN to?
Because it helps us deploy fast, basically. That is the ultimate goal for the device side. It's just to deploy fast, and it can be deployed by non-technical people very fast.
Okay, okay, very interesting. So, and how is this going? Like, are these hospitals excited about it? Like, is the result now there? Is it scaling?
Yeah, I mean, there's many studies that's showing that this is actually working. So there's nothing wrong with the business case.
Right. That's awesome.
And so we have 12 sites all operating at the moment.
Great. So, and how do they get in touch with you? If people here in the room wants to know about your distributors or systems integrators, just go to your...
just go to saninudge.com and find the contact information at the bottom of the page.
Great. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Great. Awesome first showcase. So now we're going to go into smart lighting and smart city. So, welcome Richard from Lucy Zodian.
Hello.
Welcome on stage.
Hi.
You're going to give a talk explicitly about this product. Can you tell more about the exciting project we're doing together?
Yeah, so we specialize in the manufacture of LoRaWAN-based smart lighting nodes for exterior lighting, and we've been playing with the 868 frequency for about 12, 13 years, but the last 5 years we've been focusing very heavily on using LoRaWAN, and what that's brought to us is the openness and the interoperability that protocol brings, as we all know, and that's allowed us to step into different areas in smart cities as well as smart lighting. But our primary focus, of course, is saving energy for cities and municipalities around the world using clever technology, and LoRaWAN is, I'm proud to say, what we use the most at the moment, which is great news. And it's now at such a level that it's an enterprise-grade solution. So it's vast in its size, not only in its geographical size, but in the numbers of devices that are being deployed. And of course, what that means is, huge amounts, thousands of tons of CO2 being reduced for every user. And that's our passion,
Yeah. So the energy consumption reduction is because they can be more fine-grained controlled, reduced lighting in spaces.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because you send us some very pretty pictures of where we're doing the project. This is a lovely place.
Well, this is a city in the UK called Bradford, which, if you've been there, doesn't always look like that. Yeah. But this is a city of about 60,000 streetlights. Each street light consumes somewhere in the region of 30 to 40 watts. And we often sit hand in hand with LED technology. So as LEDs are rolled out, they use the element of control that LEDs can bring and use our devices on that luminaire. So we can reduce energy consumption now 70, 80% of what it was 5 years ago. Yeah. So it's huge,
And 5 years ago, the electricity was also more expensive.
Yeah, indeed.
The business case now, when we're deploying this here, is massive.
Yeah, indeed. This particular project we're looking at there is a place called St Ives in Cornwall, which is in the southwest of the UK. And that's an interesting story because they've used 868 for about 15 years down there to control their street lighting, but they wanted to broaden their approach and not just do single street lighting control. They wanted to do water pumps and water meters, The tourist industry is strong down there, so they wanted to use LoRaWAN for other applications. So they've switched totally now. They've put a whole new LoRaWAN in, 500 gateways, 53,000 streetlights, and they're using it for agri-tech, they're using it for air quality monitoring, and that's a huge project for us to follow. And that's a switch directly because of the LoRaWAN and what that can bring. And I'm happy to say that we're using TTI down there for our network stack, and it's going really well.
Thanks. And it's amazing to see that the anchor use case of this lighting control also enables new use cases because they only can be implemented at marginal cost. Thank you very much. We have more guests as well, so thanks.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
This is actually a great use case where you see that it's not only about sensors that send a few data points every hour, as I just said, but also that you want to be able to send data back to the end devices. For instance, in this case, to turn lights on or off. So this is also what LoRaWAN supports by the different device classes. So for instance, class B for intermittent downlink, or class C for continuous downlink for streetlights. But also in this case, they use multicast, which is a feature in the Thing stack to send one message to multiple devices at the same time, for instance, to turn many lights on over LoRaWAN. So that is also supported.
Great. So next up is Dryit.
Wildfires are causing 7.8 billion tons of carbon emissions each year. That's about 20% of the global emissions. We are bringing ultra-sensitive gas sensors into the forest. The solar-powered sensors detect the slightest change in the gas composition of the air.
Using a wireless radio network, the solar-powered gas sensors send alarm messages from the forest to the emergency response center. With ultra-early detection, wildfires can be detected in less than 60 minutes and extinguished before they spread out of control. The advantage of early detection is that the fire brigade is alerted ahead of time via the control center. With GPS tracking, the location can be determined within 50 meters of where the sensors have reported an alarm.
Preventing forest fires is active climate protection.
Dryad, connecting the natural world.
Welcome, Karsten. So,
Hi.
Yeah, it works. So what's I think is amazing about this idea and product is you can explain the massive impact in literally one sentence, right?
Yes, thanks.
Yeah.
It is 20% of global CO2 emissions. We need to get rid of that. Nobody reports about it, but it's the same amount the entire traffic puts into the air.
Yeah. And so can you explain a bit on how that works? Like how do these sensors like sense a forest fire miles away, or is that like your secret sauce? Can you?
Yeah, we have a gas sensor in this device, a Bosch BME 688, great chip by the way, and it detects hydrogen, carbon monoxide, volatile organic compounds. And we use a built-in machine learning algorithm to avoid false positives, so we can really reliably detect the fire. And then, of course, we use LoRaWAN to send out the alarm signal when we hit a fire. And on top of that, we've built a mesh networking infrastructure with wireless mesh information based on top of LoRaWAN with gateways so we can go deep and deep and deep and deep into the forest.
Yeah, amazing, amazing use case. Thanks a lot, Karsten, for sharing the story with us. So next up are our friends from Canada, ASEC Technology.
ASEC Technology is a Canadian company providing custom IoT solutions for a multitude of industries. Over the last year, ASEC was responsible for the integration of 47,000 low RAWAN sensors across 1,700 public schools in Canada. The goal of this project was to provide detailed information about the air quality of each classroom. Millions of data points are collected every day, and the ASEC IoT web platform allows school teachers and directors to take informed decisions with the help of detailed reports and statistics. This solution will also help the local government invest in the right infrastructures for the next 10 years and provide students and children with the best learning environment.
So, welcome.
Thank you.
Great. So, this is mass scale, right? 47,000 sensors across a lot of buildings in Canada. Can you tell us a bit about what value you're bringing?
Yeah, well, our customer was our local government, and they wanted to monitor the air quality of all the classrooms in the Quebec province in Canada. And so we worked with them to deploy, like you said, 40,000 sensors that measure CO2 levels, temperature, humidity in 47,000 classrooms across the province. And yeah, what our solution brings is that it was really easy to deploy, thanks to LoRaWAN and TTI. And for our customer, it was one of the main concerns. It had to be easy to deploy. Each device had to be deployed in just a few minutes. And because the devices are wireless and they work with batteries, you can deploy hundreds of them with a few gateways in just a few hours. So it was really easy to deploy across multiple schools.
Great, great. So, and how are your customers liking it? Like, it's now installed. How do they use it? Is there adoption?
Yeah. Hello? Okay. Yeah, well, I think they really like it. It's been a great ride for them as well to just install all those devices pretty much everywhere. But yeah, they do like it. They use the software every day, also the homemade platform we developed for them. And they get alerts, statistics, everything every day. And also the government can then use that data to take decisions. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks. Thanks for sharing this here on stage.
Thank you.
And we'll see you. Yes?
So when you are deploying tens of thousands of devices with a battery life or a lifetime of 10 years, you really want to protect those LoRaWAN root keys. And for that, we are launching a new service, the Things Join server, which is a product that everyone can deploy in their own Azure or AWS account, which is fully serverless, so no containers, no virtual machines, nothing really to operate. And it makes sure that you can really own and control the security credentials of your LoRaWAN devices, the LoRaWAN root keys, because these give access to the identity and the data of the end devices. So even if you're using the ThinkStack Cloud, you can use the Things Join server, so you can control those root keys for the lifetime of your devices, and that allows you to securely switch from the ThinkStack Cloud to the ThinkStack Enterprise on-premises or in your own private cloud, or even switch to one of our competitors while controlling the root keys of your end devices.
Awesome. Great. Next is connection. Welcome, Ralph, from Connection.
Thank you.
So, yeah, we're super honored to be a humble little gear in this massive project that you're doing. Can you tell me us a bit more about the project?
Okay, so the project that we have with Severn Trent Water is to provide LoRaWAN network to work in conjunction with Itron, who's the water meter manufacturer, to enable Severn Trent to go from AMR water meter reads, which is basically twice a year drive-by, to AMI, always connected infrastructure, so the water meters are always sending data multiple times a day.
Wow, so 150,000 smart water meters. Right. And what kind of value does it, like the whole proposition, bring to the city council?
So the UK is surrounded by water, but it's the wrong kind of water. It's a bit salty, not very nice, and it's a scarce commodity. Staggering statistic, 1 trillion litres of water is lost across the UK through leaky pipes a year. Now, just to put that in context, it sounds like a big number. It is a big number. That's 400,000 Olympic swimming pools, or nearly twice the amount of water in Sydney Harbour. That's lost every single year through leakage. So it's critical that Severn Trent and all the other water companies in the UK are able to understand what's leaking and where, so they can anticipate how they can address that and reduce the water leakage. Also, we've got a cost of living crisis going on in the UK. I think we have in all of the countries in Europe because of the cost of electricity and gas. And people need to know how much they're spending on their water. Having the water meters sending data many times a day means that the water companies, instead of sending an estimated bill, which might be or might not be right, and then demanding people pay a direct debit, which is probably too much, they can actually charge the right amount. And it's therefore really beneficial to the individuals who are using the water, as well as to the company, who can then understand what they're getting in from a revenue perspective and ensure that it's being done in the most effective way.
Yeah. Amazing story. Thank you very much for sharing this, and thanks for being, we can be part of it. Yeah.
And with such a large deployment of such a large area, chances are that your network overlaps with other networks. Could be the Things network, community network, but also many, many other private networks deployed for many different use cases. So for that, we have Packet Broker, which allows you to easily share coverage with other networks and also make use of coverage provided by other networks. Next to that, we also have the Network Operations Center, which is our new feature that we launched recently, and it allows you to dive deep into the performance of your gateway. So you have your overview here. You see the uptime of all the gateways. You can go to a gateway, get insight, see the channel utilization over time. And this allows you really to quickly diagnose any issues that you have, but also see if your gateways are performing well, if the antenna works correctly, or if there is a lot of noise on some channels that you may want to avoid. And we are extending this as we speak with support for applications and end devices.
Great. So next up is Phil from GoldenEye.
Introducing GoldenEye, a data and analytics company part of the Morgan Sindall Group plc. From monitoring and managing healthy and sustainable homes to identifying energy efficiency opportunities in commercial buildings and on construction sites, GoldenEye provides a wealth of information to property service teams for the predictive maintenance of their buildings.
Overall, GoldenEye is helping buildings to reduce their energy consumption and reduce carbon emissions, which is helping our clients to meet their net zero targets.
GoldenEye, informing change through data insights.
Welcome, Phil. Hi there. So, thanks for sharing this awesome story with us. Can you tell more about the project and your engagement with LoRaWAN as a real estate company?
So we were using LoRa to enable us to monitor the built environment. So we focus around health, sustainability, and safety. So whether that's using the technology to monitor the safety of our construction sites, sustainability of commercial office space, or the health of tenants with inside of over 120,000 homes that we look after in the UK.
Cool. And why does LoRaWAN fit into this IoT strategy you're having?
It's been quite pivotal in allowing us, you've got to remember we're hairy builders at the end of the day, to deploy technologies really quite quickly and allow us to actually engage with our clients and deliver better services. And it's allowed us to deliver this quite generic platform. So we're supporting many use cases across the construction and built environment, all from one technology platform.
Great, awesome. And as far as I know, you're using a lot of different devices as well, right? So experimenting. So what's your take on the device maker ecosystem?
So one of the things that was important for us was to have this agnostic ecosystem. So we're not trying to lock everyone into like a Morgan Sindall device that we've got coming from a fab line in China. The idea is to have a lot of sensors that we can use and pick the right sensor for the right use case. And the people next door have got some of the great technologies that allow us to get the data. And getting the data is fundamentally what we're about.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks a lot. Thanks for sharing the story.
So the Think stack focuses really on the LoRaWAN network layer. We decided not to build an IoT platform, but instead we integrate with many different IoT platforms. For instance, Morgan Sindall uses Azure IoT Hub, and Azure contains a very easy-to-use, low-code, no-code platform to click and create workflows to process data that are coming straight from the Think stack without needing to write a single line of code. We have multiple integrations. So Azure IoT integration, AWS IoT integration, but also you can get, like I said before, low-level access to streaming data. What Phil also mentioned is that he uses a lot of different LoRaWAN devices. And for that, we launched in the 2020 conference the device repository, and that has grown now to including thousands of LoRaWAN device profiles. And that allows everyone to easily and quickly and safely onboard LoRaWAN devices, because all the information about how that device behaves and which LoRaWAN versions and all the settings it uses are loaded straight from the device repository. And that allows developers to spend precious time on building value-added services. But we also encountered a problem. The decoders, those are the little functions that decode binary payload into a structured object. They produce many different data structures. And that makes it challenging for developers to consume data from different devices, because sometimes the temperature is called temp and it's sent in Fahrenheit, and other times it's temperature in Celsius. So we're adding a new step which comes optionally after the decoder. It's called the normalizer. And that allows developers to match the output of their decoder to a standard format, the normalized payload, that all device makers can adopt, so that the data stream looks exactly the same for all the LoRaWAN devices connected to your network. And when you are deploying tens of thousands of devices, you want to make the onboarding really easy and quick. So for that, we now added a new onboarding flow to the ThinkStack console that allows you to easily scan a QR code right in your browser. So you scan a QR code on the device, and in there are already the identifiers of the device, as well as the code, the claim authentication code, to prove ownership of the device. So without having to enter identifiers and root keys, you can quickly onboard a device and proceed to the next. So this only takes 20 seconds, which is already much better than 5 minutes entering keys, maybe making typos. But we also support importing CSV files for bulk import of thousands of devices at the same time.
Cool, thanks. Next up is Spacewell.
Workplace needs are evolving. Buildings are getting smarter. Data-driven insights are the key to success. This new reality calls for a next-generation, fully integrated solution that can do it all. That's why our two leading products, Axerion, workflow-based integrated workplace management system, and Kobundu, Internet of Things platform for smart buildings, are entering the future together by rebranding into Workplace, a fully integrated software solution to create engaging, effective, and healthy workplaces. Workplace management. Manage your assets, contracts, vendors, and workflows. Workplace analytics. Get real-time data on space usage, reservations, and air quality. Workplace experience. Make your employees happy and productive by providing them with a smart workplace. Workplace by Spacewell.
So, making your employees more happy. Who doesn't want that? So, can you tell a bit more about the solution and the value proposition?
Well, the solution is twofold. On the one hand, we have a smart building platform. On the other hand, we have a workflow-based engine. And the two of them combined form our connected portfolio intelligence platform. And we make buildings work for people. That's our mission.
Great. So where does LoRaWAN fit into that product vision?
For our smart building platform, you're our backbone, our scalable solution that allows us to scale up fast, reliable, easy to connect, easy to roll out. So a trusted partner.
Right. And what kind of sensors are you using? Like what kind of data are you gathering? What examples? What kind of different?
We're actually sensor agnostic, so we have multiple vendors that we use. Some of them are on the field here behind me, and but we basically also connect to building management systems and any other sensor that vendor has present.
Awesome. So this is like an evolving system, and when the ecosystem innovates, you're riding that wave as well.
Yeah, as long as they're vetted by our quality team, then we add them to the stack, and then they're added to the more than 100,000 sensors that we have live on the TTI backbone.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Truly mass-scale IoT, very much distributed over a lot of different sites, right? This is not concentrated in what we've seen before. Okay, thank you very much for sharing the story. So next up is Sheila from Denmark. Hey, hey. So welcome, Sheila.
Thank you.
So this is something different. Like, tell us what this device does and what you guys are doing.
Well, we're Space Tech Denmark, and we develop customized SATCOM IoT modems so that this device can be integrated into all of your products here in case you want to monitor something that is not near a terrestrial gateway. In case you have a pipeline, for example, leaking water, it's most likely not in the city. So most of our goods around the planet, or most of our resources and our commodities, they're in places where you need a satellite connectivity. So that's what we do.
Great, great, awesome. So you're partnering with Lacuna Space on this project, developing all kinds of different value propositions. Can you share a bit about exciting things you're experimenting on into logistics?
Yes, logistics, transport, logistics, shipping is a huge market for us, of course. About 30% of our goods go to waste because we don't know how to monitor them properly, or we can't monitor them effectively enough, cost-effective. And Lacuna Space has now taken these terrestrial gateways, put them into CubeSats, and launched them into space, which now means we can pretty soon provide near real-time data from anywhere on the planet with these 80-gram devices that last for 5 to 10 years on a single AA battery.
Awesome. It's awesome. Thank you very much. So if people want to get in touch with you, you're at the Lacuna Space booth.
Yes, you can find us right outside at Lacuna Space, and we're hoping to see a lot more companies like ourselves partnering with Lacuna, as we cannot provide them with the whole planet's market. So we're inviting people to our ecosystem.
Great.
Yeah, get in touch.
Thank you very much.
So Lacuna Space is one of the native integrations with Packet Broker. So they receive data on their satellites, they send it to a ground station, and they feed it directly into Packet Broker. Packet Broker is a LoRaWAN backbone for LoRaWAN networks, and Packet Broker distributes the traffic to the right LoRaWAN network server. And this brings global coverage to the ThinkStack cloud. We also have a configuration screen in the ThinkStack console, so enabling exchanging traffic with other networks, not just terrestrial networks, but also satellite networks, is just a matter of a few checkboxes in the ThinkStack console. We are also happy to announce that developers can use one satellite of Lacuna Space that's currently flying around for developing their IoT solutions. And that allows them to already build applications so that the applications are ready when the constellation of Lacuna Space is up, planned next year. Today, they have 3 satellites flying around the globe, and you can use one for free for developer use.
That's awesome. So if you want to send messages over a satellite to the Things Network for free from today forward, you can do that. Go check out the booth, and they'll teach you how to build the right antenna, and you can go get started without any friction. So what do these examples say? LoRaWAN is here and now. It's like you can directly generate value with it. And these are a few examples of mass-scale IoT. But we have hundreds of customers that are together growing. And you see this bottom-up growth in the IoT market, where we'll be registering our millionth devices somewhere this year. And if you think the effort you need to actually provision a device, the total cost of ownership is already something around $200 over the lifetime. And the business case of this IoT application is mostly 5 to 10x. So you can do the math, what this kind of installed base generates in value not only monetary value, but efficiency value as well across the globe. But that's looking backwards. Looking forwards, we see another trend, that the time to value is getting shorter. And the timing cannot be more perfect, because when we started in 2015, we were lucky if our customer would deploy in 2 years. We now see customers literally deploy from idea to deployment and value creation in 3 months. And this is critical, right? We have interest rates going up. Time is money, and LoRaWAN is here and now, and you can start now and have your return in 3 months. So this is here, it's here and now. What's next? Like next is the convergence of these IoT solutions and data. So all the data is private. We built very sophisticated encryption system to make sure everything is private. But if you start to mix and match data, that starts to be interesting. So you need to go to the toll gate and the toll gatekeeper of certain data points. And this conference is about that, to see where can we mix and match. So for instance, Mark Stanley will talk something about an app he created that administrates from citizens where they feel safe and not. So he's probably need to talk to Richard Perry, who is able to control the lights, and maybe the data can be a very nice mashup where you will have cost-saving dimming of the lights in places where people feel fine, and you will put them brighter where people don't feel safe, right? So many of these connections we would love to, of course, see here. So if you want to mix and match this data, you have to create a common language. We have to talk the same thing. So Johan discussed already a bit about the payload normalization, how to build these different models so that they can be injected in what we call digital twin. And that's what we did here with all the partners. We created a digital twin from this venue. And it's alive, right? So at the Things Industries booth, you will be able to see it. There will be a link available. And there's like a stranger also in the digital twin, and that's Johan, right? So Johan is wearing a very nice biometric sensor.
Show it.
Ooh! So if you want to know he's fine, you now got 1,000 doctors that can see your health over the night. So you'll be fine. Right? And this amazing sensor brought to the market by Tectelic. Who doesn't know them? Roman, the incredible, and he was very kind to contribute to this project, and it's a showcase of what it can do. All these partners, they contributed to that digital twin, and it's alive. So Ben from our team, who was the developer of this digital twin, he will be at our booth, and you can ask him to change it, to add your sensors, to remove your sensor, etc. Also, together with Microsoft, Benjamin Cabé created a really cool demo. You can see Johan actually in AR as well at our booth. If you don't like him in real life, you can see his digital twin there. I don't guess that's necessary. This is a gimmick, of course, a bit of like seeking the boundaries of innovation. But it is actually pretty cool to experience. So we won't hold you up further. Check out this device wall of fame. It's full of different devices, and you can check them in the digital twin. And there's one thing that we would like to highlight. There's one sensor where we are personally just massively impressed with.
That's the Elsys Eco. I have it right here, which is an environmental sensor, so temperature, humidity, CO2 sensor, which has a solar panel, as you can see, and it works indoor. It's made of biodegradable material, so it's wireless, and it's battery-free, and it lasts up to 30 days in the dark. So I have it here. It's a really nice device. You can also find it there on the device wall of fame. If you want to get your hands on the device, go to our booth. We have a few of them to hand out.
Yeah. So the exciting thing about it is this product, the lifetime, is really the durability of the electronics. It's like 10 years plus, right? This completely changes the game and changes the business case, because if you're calculating total cost of ownership and you can have 10 years, I mean, what kind of cost saving are we talking about, right? This is incredible. So the other exciting thing about this conference is all the people here and the connections that are made. There's diversity from background is pretty impressive. The diversity with regards to gender is a bit underperforming, the least to say. So the chances you're sitting next to a woman are less than 5%. Yeah, there have two here. And luckily, Julie McGee, the newly fresh CMO from Semtech, a member of the board of management, is hosting a lunch tomorrow and inviting all women at the show, and she will share her impressive story about the impressive career she had through working in the semiconductor industry. So we're happy to do that, and we will also do our best to see where we can at least make sure that the percentage next year is not 5%, but 15%. So it's going to be an incredible day, and at 5 p.m. the lights will go out. Ben is not only an incredible developer that's creating digital twins, but he can also do some DJing, and the party will start here. It's a bit of a surprise still, but that's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, enjoy the show, enjoy the conference. But before I do that, something special happened 2 weeks ago, and Johan got a little boy, and he's here. So cheers to that. All good.
Yeah, we have not been sitting still the last 2.5 years.
No,
yeah.
you've not been sitting still. So be a bit easy on him. Like he has some rough nights. Without further ado, enjoy the conference. And I want to ask Justin on stage, who's the host, and we can get started.
Thank you so much, Johan and Wienke. That was absolutely great. Thank you. Johan looks surprisingly fresh for somebody that has a newborn at home, and a great choice of jacket as well, I have to say. So we have a great schedule for you here today. There's going to be a ton of great talks. It's going to be a lot of very in-depth interviews, and there's even going to be a soldering booth. So, for those micro-soldering people out there that have the urge to yell, add more flux, you'll be able to do that over there. We have a lot of really great stuff for you here today. Now, if you're one of those people that doesn't go around randomly scanning QR codes, you're like me, and you're missing out a little bit, because there's a QR code on your badge, on the back of your badge, actually. And if you scan that, you actually have access to the program, the schedules, the interviews, floor plan, and even some stats on the digital twin, and a whole bunch of other things. So if you have a question, there's a good chance that the QR code on your badge is going to be answering it. So definitely scan that in a moment. Now, I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of solutions you come up with in the next 3 to 6 months. It's going to be great. Now, you're going to be seeing a lot more of my mug up here on stage today. I'm going to be your host and guide throughout this day here today. So you might be wondering, who's hiding behind this hairy mug? My name's Justin Halsall. I am a software engineer and a startup founder. I work on a company called Record Once, and today I get to be your guide. So lots of good stuff. Now we are going to be actually announcing our first speaker up here on stage in just 4 minutes. They're going to be talking about key enablers for mass IoT adoption. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be the president of Tektelic. So I'll see you back here in 3 minutes. See you in 3 minutes.